Good afternoon, esteemed guest members, fellow presenters, speakers, and everyone present here today. It is humbling to be presenting a research paper for the first Philippine Aviation Research Conference 2022. My name is Irene Luxilio, and I will be presenting e-learning platform on laboratory projects of Avionics students of Philippine State College of Aeronautics Assessment and Evaluation. So, for the background of the study, the COVID-19 pandemic has emphasized the importance of technology in education, particularly online technologies. The researchers have observed various difficulties encountered by college students when it comes to performing laboratory projects online through e-learning platforms. In line with this, the study was conducted to identify these various difficulties and improve the current methods used by Philippine State College of Aeronautics Mactan campus through assessment and evaluation on the aviation electronics technology students of school year 2020-2021. The researchers sparked an interest to conduct this study as they have noticed that students who are currently using the e-learning platform are having trouble completing laboratory projects, particularly when they are group projects. The result of this study will enable the school, instructors, and students to identify the various difficulties and improve the methods of having laboratory projects online. So we have eight statement of the problem. The first one being what was the demographic profile of the undergrad respondents in terms of gender, year and section, and age. Number two, what were the e-learning platforms used by the avionics students for their laboratory subjects? Third, what was the status of the e-learning platform of laboratory projects of the avionics students in terms of gadgets or devices and internet connection? Fourth, what is the extent of implementation of the e-learning platform of laboratory projects in terms of student performance, instructors' competency, assessment, and evaluation? Fifth, what are the challenges encountered by the respondents on e-learning platform of laboratory projects? Six, is there a significant relationship between the first profile of the respondents and the extent of implementation? Second, profile of the respondents and the challenges encountered in the e-learning platform? And third, extent of the level of implementation and the challenges encountered. 7. From the basis of the findings, what action plan for improvement of the e-learning platform of laboratory projects was proposed in terms of student performance, instructors' competency, assessment and evaluation, gadgets and internet connectivity? And last, what was the intervention plan proposed for coping up the challenges? So for our related literature, first and foremost, the study is anchored in theories of education in the online environment. And a number of theories have evolved, most of which is derived from the major learning theories. Just as no single learning theory has emerged for instruction in general, the same is true for online education. And learning as involvement in the social environment is at the heart of Leib and Winger's 1991 theory of learning. And lastly, social learning theories emphasize the importance of social contact in learning and the fact that learning is a part of all human activities states how learning and participation cannot be separated. So for our theoretical framework, we start with the e-learning platform and we research in the layers of education in the online environment, and comes with it is the methods and tools, activities and environment, relevance of context, and the end outcome. So for the procedure of online learning classes, there is a limit because no physical contact, time limited, haphazard group outputs. And for evaluation and e-learning methods, we focus on the laboratory projects, which is our research topic. And because of the COVID pandemic, we are forced to adapt and improvise resources. So for our research paradigm or conceptual framework, our input is, as stated in our statement of the problem, is the profile of the students who took the survey, the status of e-learning, the extent of implementation, the challenges encountered, and the significant relationships between respondents and extent of implementation and challenges encountered. The process goes with the research design of descriptive and quantitative research, data gathering, the data presentation, analysis and interpretation, summary of findings, and conclusion. And of course, our output would be the action plan and the intervention plan. So for the research methodology, our research design, this research study used a descriptive, non-experimental, and quantitative research method. Quantitative research design is a formal, objective, and systematic process in which numerical data are used to obtain information about the variables. For our research environment, the researchers conducted the study at Philippine State College of Aeronautics, Mactan Campus, Lapu-Lapu City, Cebu. Research respondents. The respondents of the study were the aviation and electronic technology students of Philippine State College of Aeronautics, Mactan Campus, school year 2020-2021. The researchers selected 10 students in each corresponding section from the first year, second year, and third year levels. There was only one section for each year level in the first and second year, and 4 sections in the third year level, resulting with a total of 60 respondents. For our statistical treatment, to determine the normal distribution derived from the surveyed answers of the respondents, the formula of the weighted mean was used. This showed the data points that were contributing equally to the final average and the data points which contributed more than others. The data was summarized as a graph or summary statistic. The researchers tested the frequency of answers from each question among the students from the 4 sections in a single continuous variable, which was the digital survey questionnaire, to determine the overall significance. One-way ANOVA was used to determine significant relationships in data with more than 2 variables and independent t-tests for those with only 2 variables. So to show the results we have gathered, presenting it based on our statement of the problem, first is the demographic profile of the undergrad respondents in terms of gender. Majority of the respondents were males. Year and section, majority of the respondents were from the third year level. And when it comes to age, majority of the age of the respondent were 21 to 22 years old. Number 2, e-learning platforms used by the Avionics students for their laboratory subjects. Survey shows that majority of the respondents use Google Meet to answer their laboratory projects in the e-learning platform. Third is the status of the e-learning platform of laboratory projects in terms of gadgets and internet connection. So most of the respondents use their smartphone during their laboratory projects and e-learning platform. And in terms of internet connection, survey shows that most of the respondents have a moderate internet connection. Number 4, the extent of implementation of the e-learning platform of laboratory projects in terms of student performance is moderately satisfactory. So it means that it's 31 to 60% good and effective. In terms of instructors' competency, it is very satisfactory. It means that 61 to 75% good and effective. And assessment and evaluation, it is very satisfactory. The laboratory projects of the avionics students in the e-learning platforms for assessment and evaluation is 61 to 75% good and effective. Fifth, the challenges encountered by the respondents in e-learning platform. So the challenges encountered resulted in a moderately encountered outcome. So number 6, when it comes to significant relationships, according to our data, there is no significant relationship between the profile of the respondents, extent of implementation, and the challenges encountered. So for number 7, proposed action plan in terms of students' performance, strategies/outcome, laboratory projects must be individual if possible or by pair. One member will do the paperwork and the other one will focus on the output itself. The objective of this is to make sure that students learn something from their activities. Persons involved, instructors, institutional heads, and departmental heads. For instructors' competency, instructors should be flexible when it comes to materials and activities if it is accessible to the students without the risk of exposing their health. Objective, to make laboratory projects easier, particularly to those students living in the province. For assessment and evaluation, academic institutions should create a platform where instructors can post modules, grade submissions, and communicate with students. Students will also be able to view announcements, submit their activities, and view their grades. Objective is a unified and connected system to stay connected and updated in all information. Persons involved, academic institutions. For gadgets and connectivity, students can send modules or laboratory activities on their own pace with enough consideration from instructors. Objective is to give a considerable amount of time for deadlines for students who might have problems with their gadgets and connectivity. Persons involved, instructors and students. When it comes to intervention plan, so objective, instructors must have a recording of themselves performing and explaining the laboratory project. So strategy is they will not just be providing the module or discuss it in their given synchronous schedule. And outcome, students will have the chance to review the lecture and demonstration. Persons involved is students and instructors. Next students will go to the school laboratory to perform the laboratory activities. For strategy, this must be done with precaution, such as students must be divided into groups by a rotation in which the lab can accommodate and is already equipped with safety protocols. Then for outcomes, students will have the chance to physically learn and apply what was taught. Persons involved, students and instructors. And lastly, institutional heads must be prepared ahead of time with regards to creating laboratory activities in modules. Strategies Strategy. This helps in not rushing in the students and instructors when it comes to accomplishing deadlines. And for the outcome, effective and properly answered modules. Persons involved, institutional heads, students, and instructors. These are the sources and references of our study. So this concludes our research presentation. Thank you very much on behalf of my group mates and our school, Philippine State College of Aeronautics, Mactan campus. We will now be entertaining questions.